tips for creating an environment that's conducive to writing, because we are business owners. So we need to have the space set up for it. If we're not in our space, we're really not going to thrive. I ran my business for years just from my couch, and I honestly did okay with it. But I found that it was really hard to concentrate. It was really hard to write in particular. My writing really wasn't that good, and it would take so long to get tasks done. It's okay to do like administrative tasks or tasks that don't need a ton of brain power. But once you get to writing or any sort of like content creation, you really need to have a dedicated space, especially if you're living with other people, especially if you have kids or pets. I have a screaming bird, and I'm sure he is yakking his head off right now, and I just can't hear him because I have a dedicated office space. So let's get into the tips. My first tip is to make the space you. Make it somewhere that you're excited to come into. My space is completely me. My favorite color is orange. The walls are this fun terracotta. I have this beautiful wood antique desk from the 1930s that I love. It is very ornate. It's definitely not one of those standing desks, but it makes me so happy to sit at it every single time. It's absolutely beautiful. And before that, I didn't even have a desk. My stuff was strewn all over the place, and I didn't have like a cohesive area. Now I know what I'm going to do, where I'm going to do it, and it's just so much better for me running my business. I love scents, so I have like a couple of candles, some essential oils hanging out over here. I have a beautiful view out my window. The way my office is set up, it leads right to a window that's looking out onto a couple of acres of my land with water and beautiful pine trees. So it's really a nice vibe for me to be writing and just to look out into that, the nice blue sky, or sometimes it's snow covered. It's a really cute area for me. I also have my business working space, and then I have another chair over here that I can still write with. It still has like a little office space and a space that I can kick up my feet, but it's like more comfy. So a lot of the time I'll write over here and then I'll edit over there. And just having the brief back and forth is really helpful to keep me in the same location, but having a change up between like comfort level and what I'm doing, it just really helps me. I also make sure I always have a blanket nearby. I'm super cold. I have other little things and little trinkets that just make me smile. I have a phrase from my grandmother here that is just really cute. There's plants all around me, books and everything. So make it your own. Make it someplace that you want to come, because it's going to be your space and you're going to be using it a lot. So it's a lot easier to come to a space that you want to than a space that you're dreading. And it's really important to have that dedicated area. So the next one is to make sure that it is a dedicated area. My next step is to make sure that it's a dedicated area that's closed off from the rest of the house and it's quiet. So the door closes, you minimize distractions. I have no TV in here. It's on the other side of my house from like my kitchen, my living room. It's very quiet on this side of the house. I can't hear my birds screaming, and I can shut the door and just know that I'm not going to be bothered in here. When I come in here, no one's going to come get me. It's just my zone to work. I've been in here all day, and I know that this is where I go to work. I was trying for a little bit to work from the dining room table, and there weren't doors on either side, so it was really noisy. People are coming in and out. There was no privacy. There was no sense of shutting out the outside world and locking myself in to do my work. So I really do recommend having some sort of a curtain or a door, or just knowing that you need to go to a really quiet place. Another tip is making sure that you have the office supplies. I think I didn't really understand the importance of having like pens, and I have a dedicated notebook for discovery calls and the rare occasions that I take meetings. That way, if I'm curious about something that was said in a previous meeting, I can go back directly to it. I have a calendar on the wall for all my deliverables, and I also have a printer, because sometimes I just don't want to look at the computer anymore, especially when I'm doing slide decks and there's so many research articles that I need to read. I love printing out, highlighting, and writing the notes, and that's how I plan my slide decks. So making sure that you have the office supplies to thrive too was really important to me. For a while, I thought I was going to put this in my bedroom, but same thing. I didn't want to just go straight from my office and just walk 5 feet to my bed. I think it was really important to differentiate that this was my office space and that was my bedroom, and that they're two different things. So having your office can be a really exciting point in owning your own business. It's really when you're starting to make headway and like, I'm serious about this. I have work to do and it needs to be quiet. I need to be focused, and it's my own area. So make sure that you make your own, have fun with it, and be ready to use it. Make sure it makes sense for you and that you're ready to spend a lot of time in here.